Hello, and welcome to the Murder House Radio Show. I'm your host, X. On this show, we will be covering serial killers, mass shooters, disappearances, true crime, and the most deplorable things and people in history. All that good, dark stuff. The Murder House Radio Show will be a radio show / podcast. I'll be uploading videos every Friday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Once you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification and select all to get all notifications if you are viewing on YouTube. And hit follow if you are listening on a podcasting platform. So sit down, get comfortable, grab some coffee or whatever your preferred beverage is, turn off the lights, and enjoy the show. Hey guys, how's your October going? October 1st, I believe it is. So, the start of a new month, Halloween month, a good month. But, yeah, I haven't, recorded an episode in a few days. I've been, busy, I guess you could say. I did some moving, so your boy's sore as fuck. It'd be like that. But, yeah, and then I also just got lazy and I guess kinda down or whatever, but I'm recording this episode, but not that it matters because they're all pre-recorded, so you'll be seeing this on October, and I'm recording this on the 28th of April, I believe. Hold on. Yeah, the 28th of April. So not that it matters all that much. But let me know how your week was down in the comments. And how your Friday's going. I hope it's going good. But yeah. If you wish to ask for some advice to be covered at the end of the podcast / broadcast, the podcast email will be in the description. Also, in the description will be the sources. So, yeah. Also, if you don't like these little intros, I guess you could just skip. But I honestly don't really give a fuck if you like it or not, because this is my podcast, and we do what we please. I just like to check in on you guys and get a little personal with you guys without revealing my identity. But, yeah, without any further ado, let's get into today's episode. So this case is the April Jones case, and this dude is the murderer Mark Bridger. So, I've never heard of this case before, because this is just an individual case, and this dude's just a child killer, not a serial killer. But, the girl's name who was murdered is April Sue Lynn Jones, born April 2007, April 4th, 2007, and died October 1st, 2012. And this took place in Wales, UK. But my name is actually Welsh, I guess you could say. But it also means lonely riverbank, so that's something interesting, I guess you could say. But there is that. But so April, the girl from Machynlleth, Powells, Wales. So this is Machynnlleth, Powys, Powy's, Wales, who was 5 years old, and she disappeared on the 1st of October 2012 after being sighted willingly getting into a car near her house or her home or whatnot. So her disappearance got a large amount of national and international press coverage, and a 46-year-old man, Mark Bridger, was arrested for this. And then on the 30th of May 2013, he was found guilty of April's abduction and murder In addition to preventing the course of justice, he was sentenced to life in prison with the trial judge ordering he never be released from prison. I'm pretty sure her body was also never found. But yeah, there is that. So we will get into the search. This one may also be a shorter one, so you know. But on October 3rd, 2012, April Jones's mother made an appeal for information about her daughter. The following day, the Prime Minister, David Cameron, also issued an appeal to the public, commenting, "Clearly having this happen to you, and the fact that she suffers from cerebral palsy, something I know a little bit about from my own children, also make this worse. My appeal would be to everyone. If you know anything, if you saw anything, heard anything, have any idea, you can bring forward, talk to the police." So did the daughter have cerebral palsy, or does the mother? So in the days leading after the girl's disappearance, April's disappearance, a large search jumped off or whatnot, and was mounted around the city area I mentioned earlier, Matchionilf. Fuck around. But this involved the police and search and rescue teams using special equipment, as well as hundreds of volunteers. And then on the 12th of December, police stated that the search for April would continue into 2013. And then on the 27th of March 2013, police revealed that they would call off the search at the end of April after being unable to locate the body. Well, that's kind of a weird time to call off the search, knowing that the girl's name's April and they're calling it off at the end of April. But on the 22nd of April, police confirmed that the search had been officially ended, and the police stated that a reactive team of specialist officers are available to respond to any new information that is received. This was the largest missing person search in the UK police history. Interesting. Very interesting. Also, if you guys want me to cover more missing persons cases and whatnot, let me know down in the comments below, because I also find those very interesting. And also strange deaths and stuff, because, you know, those are also interesting. But they're not murders, but they're still interesting. So let me know if you want me to cover those, because I'm coming to the end of the list of cases I have to cover. So I'll just have to make a new list. So, Mark Bridger was a local man, and he was arrested on the afternoon of the 2nd of October 2012. And this was less than 24 hours after April went missing. And he became a suspect in the case because he was matched as a description of the man and the vehicle, left-hand drive Land Rover Discovery, which eyewitnesses had seen April enter following a conversation with the man. So there's that. So that's how he ties into this case. On the 5th of October 2012, police officials officially designated the case a murder inquiry, even though a body had not been found. This was the first indication that the police now had reason to believe that April Jones was dead. Yes, if a child goes missing, they only have about 24 hours to find them, or they're most likely dead. That's what I've heard around and stuff. But Sky News presenter Kay Burley was accused of after breaking the news, was accused of insensitivity, so she did it very harshly, I guess, after breaking the news of Jones's probable death live on air to volunteers who had been searching for her. Well, shit. The interviewees were unaware the case had changed from a search for a missing person into a murder investigation. Well, there is that. And then the next day, on the 6th of October, Bridger was charged with a child abduction murder and attempting to prevent the course of justice. He appeared before magistrates at Aberystwyth on the 8th of October, where he was additionally charged with the unlawful concealment and disposal of a body. He was remanded into custody and held at the HMP Manchester, pending an appearance at the Caernarfon, Caernarfon Crown Court. But yes, if you guys have been rocking with me for a while, you know I'm dog shit at reading and pronouncing some words sometimes, so, bear with me. But this occurred on the 10th of October via video link, so it was a video trial pre-coronavirus. But, yes, so the trial, began or occurred or whatnot on the 10th of October, I believe is what that said. And then on the 14th of January 2013, Mold Crown Court, Bridger pled not guilty to the charge of murdering April Jones, but accepted that he was probably responsible for her death. What the hell? The trial was to begin on the 25th of February at the Mold Crown Court, but it was adjourned until the 29th of April at the request of Bridger's defense team in order to make further inquiries. Okay. So, the 8th of October was, when he was charged, and then he was remanded into custody, blah, 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 blah. Oh, word. So, his trial date was set on, October 10th. Word. My bad, guys. My bad. And then, yes. And then it says here, who is Mark Bridger? So he was, born in War Memorial Hospital in Crashleton, London on the 6th of November, 1965. Yo, what's with all these serial killers and killers being born in November, bro? Or dying in November. But he was the second of three children born to a policeman, Graham Bridger, and his wife, Pamela. He has an older sister and a younger brother, and he grew up in a semi-detached house in Willington, London. He attended John Ruskin High School in Creighton, and leaving with 7 CESs, whatever that is. So he was no stranger to the law. He had a string of minor offenses stretching back to the mid-1980s. When he was 19, he was convicted of firearm offenses and theft, and he moved to Wales in the 80s. Word up, word up. And he was convicted there on criminal damage, affray, whatever that is, and driving without a license in 1991. And then the year after that, he was convicted again for driving while disqualified and without insurance. So, like, suspended license or whatever. And then in 2004, he was convicted on battery and threatening behavior. And then in 2007, he received his 5th conviction, this time for assault. So his record just got violenter and violenter, I guess you could say. And then, Bridger his work history is verified. He has been an abattoir worker, whatever that is, a hotel porter, a firefighter, lifeguard, mechanic, and welder. Interesting. He has 6 kids by 4 women. Well, shit, my guy's a playa, and was married once to the mother of 2 of his kids from 1990 until the marriage ended in divorce several years later. Interesting. Interesting stuff. I wonder why he killed her or whatever. Or if they even have the right dude, because he never confessed to where the body was or whatnot. So, but he was the last person seen with her, so it's most likely he did, but I wonder why he did. Why do you guys think he did? But we'll get into the trial here right now. So, the trial of Mark Bridger began on April 29th, 2013, and that's almost 9 years and 1 day ago. And this was before, 9 years and 1 day ago from when I'm recording this, so that's interesting. This was before Judge Mr. Justice Griffith Williams. Interesting. Forensic expert told the court that fragments of human bones consistent with a younger individual had been found in the fireplace of Bridger's cottage. Well, shit. And blood found in several parts of the cottage matched the DNA of April's. Well, that's damning. And was enough to convince the police that April Jones had suffered injuries from which she could not have survived, and convinced the Crown Prosecution Service to charge Bridger with murder. Fuck me and my stuttering. Sorry, guys. But, yes, never mind, I take it back. He probably did it, because, that's some damning fucking evidence right there. But, in his defense, Bridger claimed that he had accidentally run over April in his car and could not remember disposing of her body due to alcohol and panic. Well, shit. The best course of action to avoid a fucking life sentence would just to be, I was drinking, driving, and I accidentally fucking killed this little girl or whatever, and, at least there it was an accident, and so at least it doesn't look like you fucking just straight murdered somebody. But it's a little too late for that, because you fucking disposed of a fucking body, and let alone a body of a little girl, which is fucked up, bro. But on the 29th of May, the judge concluded his summing up and then ordered the jury to retire to consider its verdict. Okay. So whatever the fuck that means. So he pled his case or whatever, and the judge was like, alright, jury, you go decide what should be done with this dude, give your recommendations, and we'll get this sentencing underway kind of deal. And then on the 30th of May, 2013, Bridger was found guilty of abduction, murder, and preventing the course of justice. Later that day, he was sentenced to life in prison with a whole life order, having been called a pathological and gilb liar. What the fuck is gilb? And pedophile by the judge. What, did he do anything sexual or... Well, shit. After the verdict, it was revealed that Bridger had confessed to the Strange Ways prison chaplain that he had disposed of April's body in the fast flow it's like a waterfall river type deal, which flows past Bridger's house before terminating in the River Adelphi near the Mashanoleth word. Okay, so he disposed of the body in the river, and Dyfed Powys police have said that they doubt Bridger's claims and believe he scattered April's remains across the countryside near his house. I don't know, dumping it in the river would be a better move, because I doubt they'd ever be fucking found if that. But yeah, that's yeah, you'd want them to be found, but if you were to murder anyone, if you live by a fast-flowing fucking river, fucking in the river they go, I guess, after you do what you need to do. But, yeah, don't be killing anybody. That's not a good time. Just don't do it. But, yeah. In July 2013, several weeks into his sentence, Bridger was attacked by a fellow prisoner with an improvised shank, so a prison knife, a homemade knife, resulting in a facial and throat injuries. Okay. Good shit. That's what you get for killing a kid and potentially being a pedo. But who knows if he is actually a fucking pedo. But, if you're fucking murdering and disposing of little kids' bodies, you probably are a fucking pedo. But yeah. For which he received stitches. Oh, yeah. In December 2013, Bridger launched an appeal against his whole life sentence, but dropped the appeal a month later, just days before it was due to be heard. Interesting. I see. So her body was never found, like I mentioned, but 17 fragments of bones were recovered from the fireplace in Bridger's cottage. So I'm guessing he killed her or hit her with the car or whatever the fuck happened. Cut her up, like dismembered her, and burnt her, and then attempted to get as many pieces as he could out of the fireplace and scatter them wherever he did. But yes, the funeral service for April was held in the city on the 26th of September 2013. Well, shit. There is that. So, after Bridger's arrest, police discovered an extensive collection of child abuse material on his computer. Okay, that's where the whole pedophile thing came from. So there's that. Fuck this piece of shit, bro. So in November 2013, following campaigning by Jones's parents, which was also backed by several national newspapers and search engines, Google and Bing modified their system to block results from searches aimed at producing child abuse images. Well, that's fucking good. I don't know why that wouldn't be blocked in the fucking first place. Fuck. But, yes, and then right here it says House in Sinus, Ceinws. On the 4th of August 2014, and it was announced that the cottage in Sinus, Powys, where April is believed to have been killed, had been purchased by the Welsh government for £149,000, and having stood empty since Bridges' arrest nearly 2 years earlier. The cottage was demolished in November 2014, and April's family watched the house being destroyed. Well, I mean, that's good. A lot of places that have a bunch of fucking dark history or fucked up things happen, they'll usually just get demolished, because why leave a building standing where some fucked ass shit happened? But yeah, that's really all this website says. But I will go look for some more information and let you guys know what I find. Okay, so it says before 7:15 p.m. on Monday, October 1st, April broke off from playing with a friend close to her home on the Brian Y. Gog estate, and where she was from. Word. She walked over to Mark Bridger's Land Rover and clambered in. Bridger drove the little girl away via a back road and sped out of town. Okay. So there is that. This website will also be linked in the description and whatnot. It says here that Johns, the detective or whatnot, hypothesized that she went into the cottage alive and was killed in the cottage because of all the blood that was found, like I mentioned earlier, and the fragments of bone in the fireplace, which makes sense. And it states that she was possibly smothered before being dismembered and her body parts scattered. So, dismembered, burned, cremated, or whatnot, and, scattered and stuff. Because if the parts were found in the fireplace, most likely they were, burnt. But, Bridger's skill as an abattoir worker familiar with knives and as an outdoorsman with an ecliptic... what? So a vast knowledge of the mountains and the valleys around the area meant he was able to conceal most of April's remains with dreadful skill, which would also make sense. Yes, makes sense. But if the body was burned, now that I think about it, they would probably have found more evidence in the fireplace or whatnot. But you know. But it says here, I think the body was dismembered and various parts have been placed in different areas, said John. Possibly those remains would have been small and damaged. That's why we've had such difficulty locating them. Makes sense. Police said that it was discovered Bridger had driven 400 miles since his Land Rover was serviced 2 weeks before the abduction. So, John said that it was possible that Bridger traveled a significant distance to dispose of the body parts. But based on the research and the best advice, it would all point towards him going to areas he was comfortable with. Makes sense. I still think he probably may have dropped it in the river, but you never know. Well, not it, the body parts, but you know. But that makes sense. That makes the most sense to me anyway. But yeah, this site pretty much repeats everything that I already said or whatnot. Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Bridger took the day off work and by noon was on his computer asking women out on dates. Do you fancy meeting up? No strings attached. Sorry I hurt you. He messaged one woman. And then, more disturbingly, at 12:11 p.m., Bridger looked at a cartoon image from his collection of pictures showing young girls being sexually abused. This one showed a girl bound with gaffer tape being forced to have sex with an adult. Oh, that's fucked up. When his vehicle was recovered later, there was a roll of gaffer tape on his dashboard. So was this dude into producing child porn or some shit? Yeah, this guy's just a piece of shit. He also viewed images from Facebook of a friend's teenage daughter and saved 20 of them. Police later found he had images of local teenagers, including April's half-sister and 8 of April herself. Ooh, okay. So they left that out of the other fucking website. Well, damn. And then shortly before 5 p.m., Bridger drove his Land Rover 3 miles from his home, Mount Pleasant, in the village of Kenwys, to the city or whatnot to attend a parents' event for one of his children. Well, there is that. Imagine knowing your dad murdered a 5-year-old girl. That's fucked up, bro. And was a fucking pedophile, too, at that. Like, Jesus Christ. So, the detective John said it was possible that after leaving the town, Bridger drove April to a remote location and sexually assaulted her there, though there is no forensic evidence of an attack taking place in his Land Rover. But it was equally feasible that he drove straight back to Mount Pleasant and assaulted her in the cottage before killing her, dismembering her body and driving away with her remains soon after. It was possible that that the 8:30 p.m. sightings was of Bridger returning home after disposing of her body. And police believed he spent the rest of the night trying to get rid of all traces of April from the Mount Pleasant and the sterlings, the knives, and other tools he had used, including the bone knife that was found with a burned blade. Okay. Yes, because burning blades is actually how you can clean them and get rid of shit from them. Because if you don't have alcohol, you can burn the blades to disinfect it before using it on yourself if you need to for whatever reason. Because I have done that before with like tweezers and shit. But yeah. As he worked, he may well have thought he had got away with his crimes. He did not know he had been spotted by April's 7-year-old best friend. Okay, so the friend reported him. Well, was the one who was the eyewitness, I'm guessing. And then, yes, you can read the rest of this site if you would like, but it basically just says the same stuff. Link in the description. But, yeah. So that's this case, but there's no, emails for advice or whatnot just yet, so, yeah. So that is the April Jones case. Thank you for listening to this episode on the Murder House Radio Show. I hope you have a good rest of your Friday or whenever you are listening to this. Check out the social medias and the sources in the description below. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Once you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification and select all to get all notifications if you are listening on YouTube. If you are listening on a podcasting platform, hit follow. Leave your suggestions for future episodes in the comments. See you next episode. This is your host X, signing off.